Okay, boys, here we go. So this is going to be a really good one. If you've ever been stuck in a situation where you've got too many balls in the air, and that could be in a management type situation where you've got too many people you're trying to manage, too many tasks, too many objectives, or it could be in your own life where you just got too many things to try and pay attention to and you're stuck. What I notice is that any time someone says that, right, I've got just too many things in the air at the same time, they're missing one key thing. And that key thing is the ability to juggle. Now, if you think about it, if I have three balls, I throw three balls in the air at the same time, it's going to be very hard for me to catch all of those balls. The reason being is there's too many things to pay attention to, right? Our attention is our most valuable asset, and our ability to pick and target one thing at a time gives us unbelievable ability to produce results, but it also limits our ability to multitask or to pay attention to so many things. So if you get into a situation where you have too many balls in the air, learning how to juggle relies on one key thing. What enables someone to juggle? So something you probably don't know about me is that I've always wanted to join the circus, and arguably you could say that joining the SEALs was joining a certain type of circus, but it wasn't, with peanuts and elephants and clowns. The problem is I never had a marketable circus skill, but I did work on some. So when you look at this, right, so I'm going to start juggling. The key to juggling is that I'm not actually paying attention to any single ball. What I'm doing is paying attention to the pattern at which I'm throwing the balls. And I can go from a normal juggling pattern to a different juggling pattern and continue to keep the balls in the air depending on the situation that I have in front of me. So the big lesson here is that process and structure give you the ability to pay attention to more things based on the discipline that you put towards the process and structure. You can only manage one project alone, but as soon as you have a team, you can manage more projects, but you then have to manage that team, and that starts to be more balls in the air. You have to go from being able to focus on one thing to focus on many things. Now, eventually, your attention is going to reach a limit where you just can't keep track of all the things that you have to do. That's like taking these three things, throwing them in the air at the same time and trying to catch them. It's going to be very hard to do. Now, when you find yourself in that situation, the key solution to it is to be able to put a pattern, some process, some structure, some discipline to what you have going on. Now, in a management position, this is just as important. On a low level, when you're just managing a couple high-functioning people, you don't really need process and structure for it. But when you start to get to more complex teams, or if you get to a situation where your teams aren't that high-functioning, now all of a sudden, it's like throwing all the balls in the air at the same time and not being able to keep track of where they all are. And the solution, again, is to learn how to juggle those people. And the way that you do that is by applying process, structure, and discipline to how you manage. And that isn't a skill that is taught in most places. And being able to identify those things, everything from identifying the roles and responsibilities that you need to pass out, being able to assess the performance of the overall team, to assess the individual players for their strengths and weaknesses, and make sure that they're in not only the right roles and responsibilities, but their performance matches their capabilities and the consequences to their failures. This starts to sound very complicated, and it is without process and structure. So if you find yourself in that situation where you're just overwhelmed by all the tasks in your life, look to see where you can apply more process and structure. And if you need more support in bringing really strong process and structure into your leadership and management, that's what we do as an organization. So feel free to contact us, and we have not only educational materials, but also the ability to do coaching and consulting to make sure that you can start to juggle all of the things in your life that you need to take care of. I'll see you later, and hopefully someday you see me under the big top in the circus.